This is the Mavic 3T that we have for our UAS operations. This is not a tool that we intend to use or really have the legal ability to use to just randomly fly around and look for criminal offenses. Everything that allows us to fly with this, most of those are pretty pointed. The event is a street fest. They've got a concert going on, food festival, they've got some roads shut down where people can come out and gather. Events like this were one of the main reasons why the drone statutes in the state of Illinois were recently changed due to some tragic events at larger gatherings like this. They changed some of the laws to give law enforcement the ability to bring drones out in these instances and monitor maybe clues that would indicate somebody is preparing for something. If we've got that vantage point from the air, we can pick up on those things and maybe head that off before it ever gets to that point. Statute specifically tells you can't weaponize it. You wouldn't be able to use facial recognition software with the drone or with any of the footage produced from the drone. But more than that, the statute really doesn't so much tell you what you can't do with it, but it does give you a very defined, very limited number of things that you can do with it. Need something specific that we were responding to or taking care of instead of just, like I said, randomly flying around the area looking for offenses. And honestly, the manpower and time just to do that could be better used elsewhere. For the football game, I mean, primarily we're a little bit limited at this point for what we can be doing out here per statute. So primarily we're watching like the parades, the players coming in and out of the events, things like that, to make sure that there's nothing unusual going on. Just mainly because of the large crowds and the increased security and precautions this year with some of the new things that have gone into place. So this is a good place to be out and a lot of people around, so perfect place to have that overhead view to where we can pick up things that you wouldn't normally be able to see from the ground level. Thermal imaging, instead of seeing visible light wavelengths, it basically looks for the heat wavelengths. If we're out here in the dark or in an area where it's more difficult to see, we can go over to the thermal imaging. That's really good for search and rescue type of operations, especially once you get in colder weather where somebody would stick out more against a cold background. Pretty much everything you see in this case is what we would need to go out in an emergency situation. And all I have to do is start the controller, start the drone up, wait for them to connect and talk back and forth, and pretty much after that it's ready to fly. So we can be up in the air with this in a very short time if needed.